Beloved, this is not just another message. This is a divine interruption. You are chosen for such a time as this. There is a prophetic storm stirring in the spirit realm, and the Lord is issuing a clarion call to his chosen ones. If you're feeling unsettled, it's not confusion, it's confirmation. Heaven is shaking things not to destroy you, but to realign you. Before August 2025, a shift is coming. God is sending a storm not to harm, but to expose, to cleanse, and to usher in your next season. But hear me clearly, you've been warned. The ones with ears to hear must now rise in obedience, urgency, and discernment. These 7 keynotes are not motivational phrases. They are divine instructions. Delay is dangerous. Obedience is everything. The storm is not the threat. The silence of God's people is. God is separating the called from the chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. And in this prophetic hour, the difference is about to be revealed. The chosen are not always the loudest, the most visible, or the most celebrated. Often they are the ones hidden in the wilderness, processed in silence, and trusted with battles that don't make sense to the crowd. They are not driven by applause, but by assignment. And in this season, God is drawing a distinct line between those who have answered a general call and those who carry a divine appointment. The separation is happening in the spirit before it manifests in the natural. If you felt isolated, misunderstood, or even rejected lately, it's not punishment, it's preservation. God is pulling you away to prepare you. The prophetic storm coming before August 2025 is not just about what will fall. It's about what will rise. And only the chosen will be able to stand in what's coming. The called may witness it, but the chosen will walk in it. The chosen are those who didn't run from the crushing. They stayed when it hurt. They obeyed when it made no sense. They worshiped with tears in their eyes and gave when it cost them everything. God is honoring secret faithfulness. This is the moment when heaven shifts the weight of responsibility, not to the popular, but to the purified. You're not being overlooked, you're being preserved for divine revelation. And it begins with spiritual sensitivity. God is speaking in layers right now. Not everything he says will be shouted. Some of it will come in whispers. The chosen must be positioned to hear beyond noise. They must discern the difference between movement and momentum. Everyone is moving, but not everyone is moving with heaven. And in this next wave, direction matters more than speed. To be chosen means to live consecrated even when culture normalizes compromise. It means being willing to disappoint people to obey God. The chosen are not distracted by platforms. They are focused on presence. God is reclaiming his remnant, and he is placing a fresh mantle on those who are yielded. You don't need a title to be trusted. You need a posture of surrender. This is the season where God is switching the spotlight. Voices that have been in hiding will suddenly emerge, not because they promoted themselves, but because God is revealing his hidden ones. They've been prepared in caves, not stages. And now, like David, they will be summoned from the fields because their time has come. But with this separation comes a cost. The chosen must walk away from comfortable alliances. They must release expired relationships. They must stand in truth, even if it costs them opportunities. The fire that's coming will test what was built on sand versus what was built on surrender. The chosen will not burn. They will be refined. And let me be clear, this separation is not punishment for the called. It is preparation for the chosen. You are not being elevated because you are better. You are being elevated because you were broken and still said yes. You didn't manipulate your way forward. You surrendered your way into destiny. And now God is saying, come forth. The difference between the called and the chosen is not ability, it's availability. God doesn't use the perfect, he uses the present. Those who say, here I am, send me, even when they feel unqualified, will be entrusted with the next move of heaven on earth. The separation is here, and the storm will only confirm it. In this prophetic hour, God is pulling back the curtain on every hidden enemy, seen and unseen. This is not a time to be afraid, it is a time to be aware. The storm that is coming before August 2025 is not coming to harm you. It is coming to reveal what's been concealed. The exposure won't be gradual. It will be sudden. Relationships that seemed loyal will shift without warning. Opportunities that look promising will collapse overnight. Don't be shocked. Don't mourn the fall. This is God's mercy at work. He is answering the prayers you didn't even know how to pray. Prayers for protection, discernment, and clarity. When you are chosen, you cannot walk into your next season with enemies disguised as allies. And so God in his sovereignty will begin to bring hidden agendas to the surface. You'll begin to notice a change in behavior, a shift in tone, a distance in conversation. And those are not just social cues, they are divine signals. Pay attention. The same God who revealed Judas at the table is the same God who will expose betrayal before your elevation. Because before there is a crown, there is always a cross. And the ones who are closest can sometimes carry the nail. This isn't about paranoia, it's about preparation. God is not showing you who people are to provoke fear. He's doing it to protect your destiny. Not everyone who claps is for you. Not everyone who prays with you is pure. In this season, discernment is your weapon. The enemy knows he cannot stop what God has ordained, so he tries to contaminate it. He sends distractions dressed as divine connection. He sends delays disguised as opportunities. But this time your eyes will be open. You will not be deceived. Some of the most dangerous enemies are the ones who operate in silence. They smile in your face and sabotage your name behind closed doors. But the storm is flushing them out. What was done in darkness will be shouted from the rooftops, not for public humiliation, but for private liberation. God is releasing you from alliances that were never meant to last. The tears you cried over that friendship, that business deal, that ministry connection, they were not in vain. God saw what you didn't. He heard what you couldn't. And now he's stepping in. The sudden exposure is not punishment, it's positioning. God is removing the counterfeit to make room for the authentic. Some of you are about to experience divine disconnections that won't make sense in the moment, but will be necessary for your next mandate. Trust the break. The chosen ones cannot afford to be entangled in emotional attachments that weaken spiritual assignments. This is the time to let go with grace and move forward with power. You are being preserved. You are being kept. What feels like betrayal is often redirection, and what feels like loneliness is often protection. God is not removing people to isolate you. He's removing people to insulate you. The storm will not only reveal your enemies, it will reveal your real circle. Those who remain when there is no benefit to stay, those who cover you in prayer when others cover you in gossip, those are the ones assigned to this next season. Don't chase what God is cutting. Don't fight to hold on to what heaven is breaking off. Let God be God. The exposure may hurt for a moment, but it will heal your future. You're not losing them, you're finding you. And in this next chapter, clarity will be your currency. You no longer walk with people because of history. You walk with people because of alignment. So prepare your heart. Ask God for discernment. Cover your spirit in prayer. The sudden exposure is coming, but so is your freedom. You won't have to confront everyone. Some will expose themselves. And when they do, don't respond in bitterness. Thank God, because what's being removed now would have ruined you later. Before every elevation, there is a shaking. A storm always comes before the next level. This is a divine pattern, not a punishment. If your life feels like it's in chaos, if everything stable is suddenly shifting, you are not under attack. You are under preparation. God allows storms to strip away what you can't carry into your next dimension. The prophetic storm coming before August 2025 is not a random event. It's a divine announcement. Promotion is near, but it must be preceded by purification. Every storm in Scripture served a purpose. When the disciples found themselves in the boat, in the middle of the storm, Jesus didn't calm it right away. He used it. Why? Because there's a dimension of Jesus you can only meet in the middle of a storm. You can know him as Savior in safety, but you discover him as Lord in adversity. In this season, God is not removing the storm. He's revealing himself through it. The waves that are meant to drown you will become the waves that carry you into destiny. Storms expose what you've built your life on. Have you built on public applause or private prayer? Have you built on shallow faith or rooted conviction? Promotion isn't just about going higher, it's about going deeper. God cannot take you where your foundation can't hold you, so he sends a shaking, not to destroy what you've built, but to reveal what's weak. It is mercy disguised as mayhem. And only those who endure the storm with discernment will recognize it as the delivery room for promotion. Don't mistake the storm as the end. It is the beginning of something divine. Joseph had a storm of betrayal, a storm of lies, a storm of prison. But every storm moved him closer to the palace. He didn't see it at first, but hindsight reveals God's hand in every disruption. What looked like delay was actually design. The same will be true for you. God is orchestrating divine promotion. And every gust of wind is pushing you closer to your purpose. There is a shift happening, and it won't be subtle. You will feel it. Relationships will end, comfort zones will collapse, doors you were sure would open will slam shut. And yet in the wreckage, you'll find revelation. In the loss, you'll find clarity. In the confusion, you'll meet the commander of the storm. God is not punishing you, he's positioning you. The storm isn't against you. It's announcing you. Before Jesus stepped into public ministry, he went into the wilderness, a storm of testing, isolation, and temptation. And after he endured it, angels came and ministered to him. Don't expect the crown without the wilderness. Don't expect the promise without the proving. The storm is not the enemy, it's the escort. It's carrying you from obscurity to visibility, from survival to strategy, from waiting to walking in the thing you're anointed for. This is why the chosen cannot afford to complain in the storm. You must discern it, speak to it, worship through it. The storm isn't here to crush you, it's here to qualify you. The promotion that's coming will not be random. It will be righteous. It will be the fruit of your faithfulness in a season where no one was watching. God is about to reward the secret place. He's about to honor the quiet obedience. He's about to elevate the voices that stayed pure when they had every reason to retaliate. The prophetic storm is a divine setup. What feels like delay is God's protection. What looks like a setback is God's strategic alignment. You are being tested not to fail, but to graduate. And after this, your voice will carry a different weight. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Your name will be mentioned in rooms you didn't apply for, not because of your resume, but because of your refining. So do not fear the storm. Embrace it. Endure it. Speak what God is saying in the middle of it. Because when the clouds break and the winds settle, you will not be the same. You will stand in promotion, not because you escaped the storm, but because you outlasted it. This is not the season for convenient obedience. This is the season for costly obedience. When you are chosen, God doesn't test your faith in places that feel easy. He tests it in places that require surrender, sacrifice, and sensitivity. The storm that is coming before August 2025 will not only expose what's around you, it will confront what's in you. God is not just looking for those who say yes when it benefits them. He's searching for those who say yes when it breaks them. Obedience in this hour will not always make sense. It won't always be logical. It will challenge your pride, your plans, and even your people. God will ask you to leave familiar places, to release secure relationships, to walk away from voices that once comforted you. Why? Because next level obedience always demands next level trust. He's not just asking for action. He's asking for alignment. It's not about how fast you move. It's about how accurately you move. Look at Abraham, called to leave everything he knew, to go to a place God didn't even name yet. That's the kind of obedience this season requires. Obedience that moves on a word, not on confirmation. Obedience that builds the ark even when there's no sign of rain. Obedience that walks around the wall even when nothing is shaking yet. God is looking for hearts that obey even when the reward isn't immediate. Many are being tested in the area of delayed obedience. But hear this clearly. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. God doesn't just watch what you do. He watches when you do it. There are windows in the spirit that require timely response. Some doors only stay open for a moment. When God speaks, obedience must become your default, not your delay. Your comfort cannot be louder than his command. You may be asked to forgive someone who never apologized. You may be told to sow a seed when your own bank account looks empty. You may be led to leave behind an opportunity that looks promising but lacks his presence. These are not random discomforts. They are divine tests. God is stretching your obedience muscle because promotion requires more than gifting. It requires governance. Can God trust you to obey when it costs you everything? In this season, the enemy won't just fight your calling. He will fight your obedience. He will send confusion, offense, distraction, and discouragement, all to delay your yes. But you must be immovable. Your obedience is the gate to someone else's deliverance. Your yes will unlock generational freedom, open supernatural doors, and shift entire regions. This is bigger than you. You don't have time to negotiate with disobedience. God is not looking for perfection. He's looking for submission. You won't always feel ready, but that doesn't disqualify you. Obedience isn't about being fearless. It's about trusting God more than your fear. When he says go, you go. When he says wait, you wait. When he says speak, you speak. No matter how uncomfortable it feels, obedience is the oil that keeps your spirit burning. Some of you are being called to walk away from circles that no longer carry your future. That's obedience. Some are being told to start what you've been delaying for years, a business, a ministry, a podcast. That's obedience. Others are being told to be still and stop forcing open doors. That too is obedience. And all of it will be uncomfortable, but it will be anointed. This storm is not just testing the world, it's testing the willing. Will you still say yes when the yes costs you visibility? When the yes isolates you? When the yes places you on the front lines of spiritual warfare? The chosen ones are not marked by how loud they are. They are marked by how obedient they are when no one's watching. So prepare your heart. The instructions you're about to receive will challenge everything comfortable, but the reward will be divine. Your obedience is unlocking what prayer alone could not. Your yes is louder in the spirit than you know. There are some relationships, partnerships, and agreements you are still holding on to that heaven has already rejected. In this prophetic season, the urgency is not just about what you're called to, it's also about who you're still tied to. Before August 2025, the Lord is requiring a severing of covenant ties that were never God ordained. These are not casual connections. These are soul-level agreements, spiritual alliances, and emotional entanglements that are limiting your obedience, delaying your progress, and poisoning your discernment. Covenant ties are powerful. They are deeper than friendships. They are bonds made through repeated agreement, shared trauma, emotional loyalty, or spiritual alignment. But not every covenant is divine. Some were forged in brokenness, others in fear. Some were built around survival rather than surrender. And now God is saying this connection cannot go with you into what I'm doing next. If you're feeling spiritual heaviness, if your clarity has been fogged, if your peace has been disrupted, it's not always an attack. Sometimes it's a sign that you're tied to someone who no longer fits the prophecy on your life. God is not just separating wheat from tares in the world, He's doing it in your circle. Some of you are in covenant with people who once had purpose in your life but now carry poison. The season has changed, but the tie remains, and it's costing you elevation. When God called Abraham, He said, "Leave your father's house." And though Abraham obeyed, he took Lot. That one extra tie caused delay, conflict, and chaos until separation finally came. Lot represented history. God was after destiny. There are people, habits, and soul bonds that you have normalized because they've been around for so long. But longevity is not proof of legitimacy. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's God. And if you don't cut what needs to be cut, the storm will do it for you. And that separation will be public, painful, and prophetic. God is giving you a window of grace to end it in private. This is not about walking in offense or arrogance. It's about alignment. The ones you are tied to spiritually affect your momentum. Some of you are tired not because of your own warfare, but because you've been yoked to people carrying disobedience, rebellion, or compromise. You are fasting and praying, but still feel bound. That's because covenant ties give others spiritual access to your life. And access without assignment is always dangerous. Cutting the tie doesn't always mean cutting the person. It means removing the agreement. You can still love someone and not be linked to them. You can honor history without sacrificing your destiny. But in this hour, sentiment cannot outrank strategy. You cannot stay connected to what God is disconnecting. Letting go is not betrayal, it is obedience. And delayed obedience will cost you far more than broken familiarity. Some of these covenant ties are not just with people, they're with patterns. You made agreements with fear, agreements with doubt, agreements with poverty, scarcity, or shame. You've convinced yourself that this is your portion, and that lie has become a covenant. But God is calling you to renounce every agreement that contradicts his promise. Your words, your routines, your thought life, all of it must come into divine alignment. Every internal vow that says, I'll never trust again. I'll always be alone. This is just how I am. Those are covenant ties in your spirit, and they must be broken. Before August, the instruction is clear. Cut the tie. Don't rationalize it. Don't overthink it. Don't negotiate with delay. The storm will reveal what should have already been removed. But if you move now in obedience, you will not only preserve your peace, you'll protect your promotion. God is pruning your life, not to hurt you, but to clear the path. Because the weight of where you're going requires a lightness that your old agreements can't carry. In this prophetic season, God is amplifying his voice through dreams. The closer we get to August 2025, the more frequent, vivid, and spiritually loaded your dreams will become. This is not imagination, it is revelation. Heaven is releasing divine instructions during the night hours, and the chosen ones must not dismiss them. When you are asleep in the natural, your spirit is wide awake, and God is bypassing the noise of your day to whisper in the silence of your night. But hear this clearly. These dreams are not just for comfort. They are for command. You must not ignore them. Throughout Scripture, God used dreams to release strategy, warning, protection, and alignment. Joseph dreamed of elevation long before he ever stepped into the palace. Pharaoh's dreams carried a national famine strategy that could only be interpreted by a man with spiritual eyes. Pilate's wife was warned in a dream about an innocent man. What happens in the dream realm has the power to alter decisions, release clarity, and preserve destiny. And in this prophetic hour, God is speaking again, but only the sensitive will hear and obey. The intensity of your dreams is not random. You're not just having strange images. You're receiving spiritual blueprints. Some dreams will come with strong symbolism and others with direct words. Some will feel like instruction, others like intercession. But none of them are casual. If God is waking you in the middle of the night, if you're seeing repetitive visions, if faces or names keep reappearing, it's not coincidence. It's a call. And with that call comes responsibility. This is a time to steward your dreams with honor. Keep a journal next to your bed. Wake up and write what you saw, even if you don't understand it fully. Obedience doesn't require full comprehension, just faithful recording. God will reveal the meaning in layers, but you must respect the message enough to record it. Some of your future instructions, divine connections, and protection will come not through a prophet's voice, but through a dream's detail. Don't minimize it. Don't delay action on what God reveals. And many chosen ones are entering a phase where dreams will expose what natural eyes cannot see. You will see betrayals before they happen. You will receive nudges to move, to call, to avoid, to build. And every instruction must be obeyed, no matter how small it seems. Delay could cost you. Ignoring what feels insignificant might cause you to miss a major shift. This is a season where discernment and obedience must work together. Your dreams are not just for you. Some will be about regions, systems, leaders, or others you've been called to intercede for. You may not understand why you see what you see, but it's not for entertainment, it's for engagement. Get up and pray. Get up and declare. Get up and rebuke. The Lord is training your spirit to be alert even while you sleep, because your role in this next move of God will require 24-hour sensitivity. Don't share every dream with everyone. Dreams carry weight and must be protected. There are dream killers, just like there are vision killers. People who will mock what you saw because they don't carry the same spiritual frequency. Be wise with who you invite into your interpretation process. Sometimes the dream will sit in your spirit for weeks before clarity comes, and that's okay. God often hides revelation until you're ready to carry the responsibility. Some dreams will come repeatedly until you respond. Others will only come once, and that one moment of clarity will require instant obedience. Pay attention to the feelings you wake up with. If you feel urgency, heaviness, or peace, it's part of the message. Your emotions are not the message, but they are the indicators. Follow the weight.